Hello fellow cycling fans and welcome to my video preview of Tour de France 2025 KOM jersey battle. To win this polka dot jersey you need to collect the highest amount of points at categorized climbs. In this edition we have a total of 68 climbs. One Souvenir Henri Desgrange, that is the highest point of the race on stage 18. Then we have 8 all category climbs, 4 first category climbs, 13 second category climbs, 16 third category climbs, and 26 fourth category climbs. This is how the KOM points are distributed. At fourth category, you only get 1 point for the winner. At third category, winner gets 2, second place rider gets 1. Second category climb is 5, 3, 2 and 1 point for the top 4 riders. Then at first category climb we have 10, 8, 6, 4, 2 and 1 point for the top 6. Then odd category we have 20, 15, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4 and 2, and then end Souvenir Henri Desgrange. All those points for whole category are doubled. That means that it's 40, 30, 24, 20, 16, 12, 8 and 4 for the top 8 riders. So that means that a single rider in this race can get up to 363 points if he is first at every single climb. But we all know that that is not happening. And why I like this KOM battle and the polka dot jersey is because it always comes down to a GC rider versus a breakaway rider. That's why I divided these points into two categories. First one is maximum points at stage finishes. These are the points that the GC riders usually get, and there is a maximum of 138 points. And points alongside the stages outside of the finishes is 225. Based on my calculations, which I will present a bit later, I think that the target to win this KOM jersey is 150 plus points. So, which are the key KOM stages? Well, in the first 9 stages, a single rider can get only 34 points, and that includes stage 6 where you can get 11. However, 5 crucial stages are stage 10, stage 12, stage 14, stage 18 and stage 19. A single rider can collect a total of 238 points just in those 5 stages. That is almost 66% of total amount of points. So let's look into those stages a little bit deeper. Stage 6 is a first major opportunity to collect points. However, there are 5 third category climbs and 1 fourth category climb. It is likely a breakaway stage, but those climbs are more suited for punchers, not pure climbers. Also, this stage is still early in the race, so if you want to commit to chasing KOM, you need to be further back in the GC or you will not be allowed to go in a breakaway. Also, on this stage it will be really hard to sweep points because a breakaway formation happens in the first part of the stage, so probably you miss those two climbs, and then later with the fuga de la fuga I don't see anyone getting 11 points on this stage. So if you're gunning for the KOM, my advice is skip this stage. But stage 10 is where the KOM game starts. It is full of category 2 climbs, 7 in total, 32 points before the final climb, and even if a breakaway succeeds here, then you get another 5 points. So this is a must go stage for a KOM contender. The only downside is it's not the hardest stage and many will target it, so it's not going to be easy to sweep the points, but you can still get a lot. Stage 12 is another key stage that can present a huge swing in points. Why is that? Well, we have 16 points before the final climb, but the first 110 kilometers are almost completely flat. So if you have a strong team or a strong teammates in the breakaway, they can pull the breakaway away from the GC group and do all they can to give you a chance to win on Otacam. It is an all category climb, 20 points at the top, and if a breakaway can make it to the end, it will be a huge swing in points, and I think the KOM jersey will go to the rider that managed to win this stage, or at least just stay in front of the GC group. Stage 14 is another stage where you need to go in a breakaway and build your advantage over the GC riders. We have Col du Tourmalet as the first climb in this stage, so 20 points up for grabs, then Col d'Espagne with 5 points and Col de Bersuire with 10. Even if you don't manage to win in Luchon Superpine, you still get 34 points and the top GC rider can only get 20. Also, this is a hard stage, so you should at least try to get in the top 8 in the final of the stage, because not all GC riders are going to catch you. And the GC guys had a hard day on stage 13. It is an individual time trial, and then on stage 16 they also go to Mont Ventoux, and you save your energy for stage 18. Stage 18 is of course the Queen stage, the hardest day of the race, probably the hardest day in cycling this year. 80 KOM points in total, 40 before the final climb and 40 at the summit finish in Courchevel. So this stage has a low breakaway survival chance. The final climb is 26.3 kilometers long. It will be all out in the GC group, but on Col du Glandon and Col de la Madeleine, if you get there first, you get 40 points, and I think that will probably seal the deal. Stage 19 is the final mountain stage. It is a KOM decider, once again favoring the breakaway, 40 points before the final climb to La Plagne, only 20 points for the GC riders in La Plagne, so this is a crucial day. You get in a breakaway. The point is get first to the Col du Pré, another all category climbs. There are 20 points there. If you can manage that and if you're still in the lead, then the KOM jersey is yours. So what is the strategy to win the KOM jersey? Well, obviously you need to be in the breakaway on at least 5 key stages: 10, 12, 14, 18 and 19. There you can score up to 163 points before final climbs. You should also try to beat the GC guy at least one in those stages, and also always try to get into the top 8 at the summit finishes. You still get valuable points. My calculation is a top GC rider will likely reach 120 to 130 points. Of course, not a single rider will get 163 points from the breakaway, but the focus should be on winning all 4 or category climbs before the summits. There you can get 80 points in total. This is my projected KOM graph. So if you're serious about going for the KOM, I think that up until stage 10 you do nothing. That's why I have 0 points for my KOM rider, and I gave some 3 to 5 points to the top GC rider in the first 9 stages. Then if you get in a breakaway on stage 10, you can be a significant gap. Stage 12 favors the GC guys. Stage 13 is an individual time trial. I think a top GC rider will take all those points. Then stage 14 is crucial to build an advantage. Stage 16 is a mountaintop finish up to Mont Ventoux. I think that goes to the GC as well. And then on stage 18 you try to defend on the first 2 climbs, and on stage 19 you go in an early break and secure the KOM jersey. Of course, I think no one will take a potentially maximum amount of points, but somewhere around 150, as I said in the beginning, should be enough to win the KOM jersey, maybe even as low as 140, but still that can be tricky. there is another stage that I want to talk about. It is stage 20, a wildcard stage. There are 4 climbs in this stage and a maximum amount of 9 KOM points. This is a perfect stage for a breakaway, and if the battle for the jersey is tight, GC riders they will not bother with trying to win the KOM. You need to go and attack here, and maybe even this stage can decide a jersey in a close battle. So who are my favorites to win this jersey? Well, at number 1 I have Richard Carapaz. He did the full Giro coming in third. So I think he may take it easy in the opening week. That is great for him. He avoids crashes, he loses a lot of time, and then he becomes a perfect candidate to start attacking from stage 10 onwards. He has a strong punch in a KOM sprint for points, so I can see him getting a serious amount of points from the breakaway, and then he also has a good team support who can pull for him both on climbs but also on the flat between. And when I talked about a top GC guy, I always had Tadej Pogačar on my mind. He is a favorite for the overall victory. He is explosive on climbs and loves to attack early and often, so that means that he can get more points that I predicted on those earliest climbs. He also always races to win, so even if he's in yellow, he could still pick a lot of KOM points and maybe even win it by accident. And my third favorite is Felix Gal. I think he is strong enough for a top 10 in the GC. However, I could also see him losing time in early flat stages. That might shift his focus to stage hunting, and with KOM points coming as a bonus, that can also become his natural goal. He's a great rider, can get a lot of points, and I can see him challenging for the polka dot jersey as well. So that is all for this KOM battle preview. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will do a stage by stage preview. Then probably if you liked this content, I will also do a green jersey battle preview, and maybe later in the week GC battle preview, but we already know that it is a battle between Pogačar and Vingegaard. So hit that notification bell so you never miss a video in my channel. Have a great day, and I hope to see you soon. Bye!